Okay, so here is an interesting facet of my experience with A&W on a personal level and winning a national championship. So this time around for season 15, having now this is the fourth invitation, I've learned something that I decided this time to not really publicly tell too many people what I'm doing. And the reason for that is I mentioned it. So I have on Facebook, I have two different pages. My own personal one that I started in 2007. And then one I started actually early 2020 when I was first asked to be on A&W. And it coincidentally coincided with all the stuff I was learning up into about the end of 2019 and that 2020, that I had given cycling all I could and realized that I wasn't going to win, but more importantly, that I could still do pretty amazing things physically. And it's only gotten better since then. But that's when I decided to start the Wong Way, it was kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it also was a journal, so to speak, of how I approach things, how I do things, and how I got to the point where I was at the time. And so to go fast forward, this time around for season 15, I didn't bother to tell anyone on my personal page what I was doing. I just posted it on the Wong Way because the people that follow me on the Wong Way are genuinely interested in what I'm up to and how my approach to things, or they're interested in the Wong Way. And what I found over the years, I don't know if it's intentional or if it's conscious or unconscious, but people are uneasy when you find success. It sounds harsh the way when I'm saying it, but what I found is, especially as an adult and as a master, when you get older, your dreams, you start to realize that many people do start to realize that the dreams that they had are never going to come true, or that life isn't panning out the way you thought it was going to be. And so when someone does something that you can relate, someone that you can relate to, or someone you know personally does something extraordinary, I hate to say that, but there's definitely resentment. And at first I thought I was being sensitive to it. I just think people, but in the end, I realized I was not being sensitive, and it truly is a thing. And again, I don't think people are doing it consciously, but it makes people uncomfortable. That's why I try to never really talk about what I'm up to when I'm at dinner parties, cocktail parties, unless someone asks. Because no one wants to hear like someone doing really, really well, especially when you're in your 50s. And it took me a while to come to that conclusion. And it took me a while to accept that, because it was just disappointing. You go through life thinking when you achieve success that people will celebrate it, not you, but celebrate it with you. But I found it made people very, 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 very uncomfortable. And like I said, it made me very sad. And to the point again now, I try not to talk about it to people. I try to be as modest as possible. That's why I do these videos. It's a cathartic release for me to be able to just talk, and just because I don't have very many cohorts. It's lonely, and this is my diamond shoes are too tight, but there's a lot of times I'm wondering, like, well, why am I doing this? And then I realize I'm doing it for myself. I know this. I know I'm doing it for myself. And I know I'm not doing it for anyone else, because again, I know it makes people feel uncomfortable. But I'm also doing this to kind of capture this in a scrapbook, pressing a rose in. So when I can't do this tomorrow, years from now, or whatever, whenever or wherever it's going to be, I'm going to be able to say, man, you did everything you possibly could in the time you had allowed. As opposed to saying, you know what you're doing is making people feel uncomfortable. In some extents, I mean, I thought I was being silly. It's like, oh, why are you posting this stuff on TikTok, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, frankly, it's badass shit. And most people on the planet can't do this stuff. Let alone people that are 30 years younger than me. But that's why I do the videos. That's why I press these roses into a scrapbook, because I want to be able to say, when I'm laid up and, gasping for my last breath, and I was like, man, dude, you hit it out of the park for a stretch of years when most people had given up a long time. So, yeah, I'm babbling, and this is just stuff I wanted to press in a scrapbook for me to remember, like what I was going through, what I'm feeling. So if people wonder, like, well, why did you just post that on the Wong Way? If you do follow me, probably if you're watching this video, you definitely follow me, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And the thing is that, yeah, I mean, it is a diamond shoes too tight scenario, but it's lonely, and I do wonder why I'm doing these things, and I do appreciate it when people send me a message or in person, telling me what my videos or what I've done inspires them. I mean, it really touches me. And A&W for picking me, despite me sucking on American Ninja Warrior, they appreciate what I'm doing, and they see a value in it, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, this is just kind of a rambling message to myself and anyone else is listening, and it shouldn't be any reason for you to give up. I should give up or stop doing it again, because I'm looking, what is 80-year-old Will gonna think about what he did at this crossroad? Just kind of give up because you make people uncomfortable, and you you're standing out, or I don't know, or people thinking, well, Will, why are you gonna do that? You're showing off. It's just pettiness that when I let those voices get to me. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Again, but I'm glad for people to watch this stuff. I'm glad to inspire people. I'm glad to have an opportunity to keep on doing cool stuff, and stuff that's going to make people stop and think, like, getting older is not necessarily getting worse, and that you can stop, or at least stem the aging process, and just keep on improving until you can improve. And then that's when you stop improving, that's when you've done all you can, as opposed to thinking it can't get any better and not even trying. So thanks for watching and letting me vent. Take care.